ADHD? Pop some Adderall or down gallons of coffee. Depression? Take side effect laden antidepressants and spend hours regurgitating your problems in talk therapy. Anxiety or insomnia? Down a few beers, roll a joint, or if it's really bad, pop a Xanax. How many of your colleagues, friends, or family members are using these substances, putting band-aids on their mental health issues in the short term, but creating poor long-term brain health? If you've experienced the high of Adderall, you also know what comes next. 1 minute you feel like a god, highly productive, focused, and motivated, but what happens after it wears off? You crash. Depression, lethargy, irritability, and even suicidal ideation. This is because prescription stimulants like Adderall, Ritalin, and Vyvanse release important neurochemicals stored and dump them out into the synapse, the gap between brain cells, for immediate gain but long-term pain. As a neurophysiologist who's worked at substance abuse centers with addicts, I know that Adderall floods the brain with dopamine, the same addictive neurochemical that causes the high from heroin, meth, and other drugs of abuse. Then there's coffee. Now don't get me wrong, I love my morning cup of espresso, along with all the benefits of moderate caffeine intake, such as improved focus and memory. But what happens when 2 p.m. rolls around and you need another cup? As Andrew Huberman notes, 25% of the caffeine that you drink is still in your system 12 hours later, meaning that afternoon espresso just cost you a restorative night's sleep. Now you're in a vicious cycle trying to compensate for last night's poor sleep with a triple shot espresso. Now, if you've ever reported low mood to your doctor, you've no doubt been handed a script for an SSRI and a referral to see a talk therapist. Now, I don't have a problem with talk therapy. I see a therapist myself, and I believe it is important for everyone to have someone to talk to. But therapy only deals with the conscious mind, and neuroscientists estimate that 95% of brain activity is unconscious or subconscious. That's why you may have spent years discussing the same issues without seeing consistent positive changes in your life. Brain training, however, provides real-time feedback within 100 milliseconds, quicker than your conscious mind can even process information. And SSRIs are based on a false premise that low serotonin levels cause depression, which has been debunked. These medications also create dependence, nasty side effects such as sexual dysfunction and weight gain, and even have a black box warning on them for suicidal ideation. I've helped patients decrease their need for medications and actually get to the real root of their issues, such as depression, by addressing the underlying neural inflammation and dysregulated brain waves at fault. Now it's 2023, so I don't think I really need to tell you all the harmful effects that alcohol has on your brain and body. The media has portrayed alcohol as the provider of fun times, but how fun is destroying your sleep and increasing your risk of neurodegenerative diseases? And what about a few hits of weed to calm your nerves and de-stress at the end of a tough day? That's fine, right? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, guys. But while Mary Jane might be a great friend tonight, she can impair your memory, reduce your learning, and worsen your decision-making skills, and even increase your risk for developing mental health problems. After reviewing and analyzing thousands of brain scans, I've observed that cannabis slows your brainwaves for up to 3 days, so you may not be performing at your optimal mental capacity even when you're no longer high. And if alcohol and weed aren't cutting it, your doctor might prescribe you some Xanax, which destroys your sleep quality and causes anxiety after it wears off. But Xanax isn't selective about which areas of the brain it relaxes. It also dulls your senses and hinders your creativity and zest for life. If you don't believe me, take it from Drake.
I did half a Zen, 13 hours till I land, had me out like a light.
Neurofeedback is a non-invasive tool with zero side effects that has over 1,200 empirical studies demonstrating its efficacy for conditions ranging from ADHD to anxiety, depression, and insomnia. But I'm guessing you've never even heard about it, right? It probably sounds too good to be true. Wrong. The government, the news, and the healthcare system want to keep you medicated and distracted with ineffective modalities that put billions of dollars into the pockets of pharmaceutical companies and psychiatrists who haven't changed how they treat patients for the past century. They want you to believe that you are permanently stuck with whatever psychiatric condition you've been diagnosed with. And you're told that you've got to just learn how to manage the symptoms of these disorders. World-renowned psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Amen reveals that psychiatry is the only medical profession that doesn't actually examine the organ in which they're treating. So all of those solutions you've been trying is a bit like shooting in the dark and hoping to hit the target. So why have I been searching to uncover the lies we've been sold about mental health? As a young child, I lost a close family member to alcoholism and suicide, revealing the devastating effects that occur when someone loses hope, that no treatment will ever work for them. Losing a family member to suicide doesn't just end their life, it destroys the lives of the loved ones all around them, leaving everyone to pick up the pieces for years to come. My name is Toby Passman, and I'm a board-certified neurophysiologist. I've spent the past 10 years immersing myself in psychology and applied neuroscience research on a quest to uncover the real reasons people struggle with their mental health and brain performance. I trained under leading neuroscientists at the University of Oregon, collaborated with neurofeedback experts at 40 Years of Zen, Dave Asprey's peak performance brain training facility outside of Seattle, and even moved cross-country to a town I'd never even heard of in Florida to get mentored by Dr. Nicholas Dogris, a top psychologist and neuroscientist in the fields of brain mapping and neurofeedback. And after helping hundreds of patients and clients find success in treating their depression, ADHD, anxiety, and insomnia, I realized that most mental health disorders are really brain health disorders. With brain map guided neurofeedback training, I overcame my own debilitating social anxiety that prevented me from ever forming deep, meaningful connections to other people growing up, and made my dating life a nightmare, not wanting to let people get close to me. I cared too much about what other people thought, and subconsciously, I worried that if people saw the real me, they would reject me. I also struggled with my verbal fluency, never knowing what to say while talking to people, coming off awkward and robotic. Now, I had struggled with these issues for years and tried prescription medications, talk therapy, positive affirmations, and so many more things that didn't get me the results I was looking for. It wasn't until I found brain mapping and neurofeedback training that I was truly able to put my social anxiety behind me and experience authentic connections to other human beings. Once I scanned my own brain, I discovered that an area of my left frontal lobe was underactive, resulting in issues with verbal fluency. Aha! I finally connected the dots and realized that my symptoms were caused by my brain, not functioning optimally on a biological level. Neurofeedback training allowed me to target this area to produce healthier brainwaves, which resulted in tremendous improvements in my verbal fluency and confidence in social situations. I decided to start Neuroflex in 2019 to prevent people from having to go through the same struggles with their brain health that I did. If I was able to overcome the trauma of a family member's suicide and years of horrible social anxiety and awkwardness, I believe that you can also achieve your own transformation. And don't take it from me. Trailblazers such as Tony Robbins, Tom Brady, Olympic gold medalist Kerry Walsh Jennings, soccer teams such as Real Madrid and AC Milan, NASA, and the US military have reaped the rewards of training their brains with neurofeedback. Since I began training with my brain with neurofeedback in 2019, I noticed significant improvements in all areas of my life. My social anxiety improved to the point where I now have meaningful friendships and a girlfriend I deeply love and have traveled the world with. I'm the host of a top 5% podcast and regularly present at conferences and events. I've helped hundreds of clients experience their own transformations, such as David.
Hey, my name is David. I met Toby when I was looking for help with anxiety and panic attacks. He treated me based on a brain map. He treated me with neurostimulation and audio-visual entrainment. Both of those were excellent. I got immediate results.
Who struggled with panic attacks and anxiety. I could have never imagined that any of this was possible prior to discovering neurofeedback training. Not only will neurofeedback calm your nervous system and abolish your anxiety, but by training and optimizing your brain, you will become healthier, happier, and wealthier. Neurofeedback harnesses your brain's inherent neuroplasticity, allowing you to shed unhelpful thought patterns, past traumas, and bad habits. By teaching your brain to produce optimal brainwave patterns, you're going to feel limitless. Neurofeedback is not a magic pill or quick fix to your problems. You can't expect to get shredded from one session at the gym. Getting in shape is a process that takes repetition, dedication, and commitment. The same goes for training your brain. And all neurofeedback is not created equal. Practitioners without a thorough understanding of neurophysiology will provide neurofeedback that is at best ineffective and at worst harmful. So here's our simple step-by-step brain optimization blueprint to increasing your focus and eliminating distractions without taking risky stimulant medications or drinking crazy amounts of caffeine. I call this the brain optimization process. First, we scan your brain with a sophisticated neuroimaging technology called a QEEG. We assess multiple areas of your brain and determine whether you're producing brain activity that is either too high, too low, or optimal. We review your initial brain scan and put together a personalized neurofeedback protocol and neurohacking regimen tailored to your unique neurophysiology. You'll have 2 months of unlimited access to neurofeedback training, as well as one-on-one sessions to review your brain map and neurofeedback training progress, as well as helpful guides to maximize your results. You'll get lifetime access to me, the NeuroFlex community, and your brain training equipment. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. This program is not for people who believe that they're stuck with the brain that they have and that it can't improve, people who believe that their forgetfulness, mood instability, and fatigue are part of normal brain aging, people who are looking for a quick fix or another band-aid to put over their brain problems. Now, who is this program for? The program is for people who believe they can change and improve their brain, people who are dedicated to putting in the hard work to unleash their cognitive potential, people who refuse to settle for mediocre brain performance and a future of neurodegenerative diseases, people who know they're not living up to their full potential due to mental and emotional blocks. If this sounds like you, click that button below to apply for one of our transformational programs. We'll show you how to implement the brain optimization process into your life and we're here to answer any questions you may have about improving your cognitive performance. Look, in order to provide the highest quality one-on-one attention to my clients, I can only take on 5 new clients each month. Now, because you're here watching this, I can tell you're an action taker. So if you want to optimize your brain performance without ever having to be a slave to psychiatric medications or talking endlessly about your problems, click that link below, and I look forward to growing with you.